Now, generally, one thing that I've seen with the Nigerian system is that there is little or no investment in improving our educational system generally across board. And, it reflects in the mindset of the people and also reflects in how they deal with things, where they get their information. Right now, majority of people are more educated from social media than they are from schools. And that is something that is destructive because you don't regulate what goes out in the social media space. Somebody can come out and say something random, and because the person has influence, people take that as gospel. And that is dangerous. I think that is dangerous. And for us, what we want to do is we want to start to correct that narrative that, look, some of these things that are put out there are not necessary. And then number two, people should start leaning towards practical education, right? So for us, we are in the tech and business space, right? That's where we are. And that's what we champion, right? We champion innovation in technology. We champion taking advantage of global opportunities using technology. And we also champion, of course, entrepreneurship in tech. That's our focus, right? And of course, still building the next generation, building the mindset of the next generation, because, that's something that we believe that will help a lot in building the future of this country.
You think that concept of giving back to society, that concept of really creating what the people can really consume, you think that really is a value that a lot of young people can, follow through and say, hey, we're going to champion this, we're going to continue to push this, especially from Nigeria down to the rest of Africa? I see this as we need to change our value system generally. And it all comes from our value system. You have a value system where people value, aesthetics over content and, just, it's a very wild thing that you see in this country. If we can change our value system to a point whereby we value education, we value actually being innovative, we'll get there. And that's why I'm in the media space. That's why I make videos online. Because I see myself as that person that I don't necessarily worship people who have money. I'm not that kind of person. I've never had that inclination to say, okay, I want to look for connection. No. I'm the kind of person that I believe in building your own self-value. And when you build your own self-value, everybody will look for you, right? So as Nigerians that we are, when we build our value, the world will come to us. Look at the Chinese, look at the Indians. American tech companies are fighting for Indian workers to move to the US. Yeah. And that is because they've built a value system there that prioritizes education. The equivalent of MIT in India is a very beautiful school. Everything there is taught practically. But the Nigerian educational system doesn't prioritize that. And that is because Nigeria, the value system is wrong. And that is where we come in as a company. As Regonet, what we do is we introduce practical education that everybody can afford. Affordability is one of the core things for us. And, we don't see education as a premium thing. We see it as a need for life. So for us, education is needed for you to actually thrive. So it's not something that you put a peg at a premium. No, it should be closer to philanthropy. That's how we see it. And one of the things that we now do is that we now attach value to it by creating opportunities within our learning system. So our learning system is a work-first system. If you're learning a particular skill with us at Regonet, you're not learning, you're building tools, you're building softwares, you're building apps while you're learning. Those tools are sold to a global audience through our network of channels. We control a lot of media channels. One thing I've done over the last few years is that I've been able to build my media presence, not just within Nigeria, but of course outside. And that has given us the opportunity to be able to leverage that media presence and push things to a global audience. So in the long run, we can control the software space in Nigeria and even across Africa. And it's something that I think with just a little more push and a little more focused effort, we will achieve. All right. So one thing everybody who's going to be watching right now, especially the young persons, millions of them across, what they will be thinking about is you're saying, hey, why are we just moving from just trying to case SR to, 15 Pro and 17 Pro and all the rest, What is new about the model system of tech education and, the kind of education and system you're trying to, to push forward, at Regonet Global? How does it differ from what has been there? And where does it take the average Nigerian youth to? How does it work?
Okay, now let me give you a very simple explanation of something, right? You see, when you want to train somebody on something, when you want to teach somebody something, the first thing you do is you start from the end result of that education. When you go to the general Igbo structure of learning skills, right? You start learning from a master, somebody who has built a business, right? You see where the person has come to. You see the value that they are creating in society. When you start learning, you know where you are going to. You are clear on your direction. But the education system in Nigeria doesn't give us a clear direction of where you are going to when you start learning anything. Except you're learning maybe a professional course, which at the end of the day, you yourself, you think, oh, this thing may not amount to anything. Or I may have to just jump. But for us, what we are looking at is the AI revolution. There's a saying that goes like this, that the next billionaires in tech will not be programmers. They will be vibe coders. There will be people who are basically leveraging AI tools to build solutions for the future. There are people who are putting up thousands of millions of dollars in GPU systems across the world. But people who are going to create the real value are going to be people who leverage these tools to solve everyday problems for individuals and businesses. Automation is coming. That is a fact. Across every sector. Very soon, you go to banks and you will not even see people there. It will be systems that would operate. It is Nigerians that will build the systems that should work here in Nigeria, or else they will build it for us and they will sell it to us and we'll buy as usual. But with what we are doing in RegoNet, we are equipping people with the skill set to build tools and systems that would outlive their learning process. At the end of the day, these tools and systems will be valuable enough in different work environments. And then, of course, it's going to be profitable in the long run for the people who are learning the skills.
All right, so let's go to one of the things that in recent time has been thriving when it comes to the use of AI and making money social media wise, which is one of the places where you really flourish. A lot of people will tell you about how they're thinking, in fact, let me begin from this point. Does that faceless YouTube creation and all the rest, does it really still work? Are Nigerians really benefiting from it, or is it just another facade when it comes to how you can make money online and some of the extra things we're running around about? Yeah.
Now, this concept of make money online fast is one of the things that we should slow down on. We should think of building value, right? Let me explain this to you. If you build a faceless channel, right, a faceless media channel, let's not even call it YouTube channel, let's call it a faceless media channel, right? The importance of that is that it cuts across global audiences. If you see me here sitting down now talking to you, I am a Nigerian. I have a Nigerian accent. People know I'm Nigerian. I'm relating to a Nigerian audience. When you're building for a German audience, when you're building for a Spanish audience, you can do that through a faceless media channel across YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, right? When you build these channels, what that does is that you can be able to put out content out there that appeals to this audience. Now, what does that do for you? It gives you a channel to sell to them. So right now, you are not limited to your Nigerian audience. You have an opportunity to create content that people around the world will watch. Mind you, these places have what you call higher CPM, cost per mil. Their ad revenue is higher. The affiliate deals there are higher. If you give me a product to promote to a German audience and somebody buys that product, my commissions are higher. So I am here sitting in Nigeria, in my house in Lagos, or in my house in Kaduna, and I'm running a media channel that is for a German audience. I'm promoting German products. I'm making German ad revenue. And I'm importing dollars into the country without even having to step out of the country. That is where faceless media channels across platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, that is the new media we are going into. We are going to a place whereby, TV series will be made entirely by automated systems. These systems are that good. They are really that good that they can recreate TV series. They can recreate life stories. They can recreate biopics. And we are not at the forefront of this. Again, because we are distracted by who is using the latest iPhones. We're not at the forefront. And that is what we are doing. So for us, we are training over 300 video editors at once. Simply for this same purpose. To get them into a system whereby they understand that, look, this is a skill that cannot just put, and again, there are other aspects. Right now, video marketing is one of the biggest marketing out there. Everybody's on their phone 24/7. Brands are trying their best to put their ads on your phone screen as much as possible. Who are the ones who are making these videos? Video editors. They are very powerful. So what we are doing is we are showing them the way, empowering them with the tools, giving them the instructors, and then building with them. Not even building, not even just training them, we are building with them. Our company's ethos, our company's entire mission is to build with everybody that goes through our academy, right? And that is why everything we do, our prices are extremely low. It's more or less philanthropy because we are building with them.